Crystal here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Welcome everyone. A couple weeks ago I posted my personal sports card life journey video, and I was quite humbled by the response. It was my most commented on video yet, and my most liked video by a mile in terms of thumbs ups. A lot of you left really positive and thoughtful comments. It meant a lot. And there was an overwhelming number of comments asking to see videos about some of my largest purchases and some of the buying experience. I really wanted to make videos on these anyway, so no brainer, I'll make at least a few of these. I got some big success stories and some failures to share as well. The one today is just a large purchase I made that was pretty unique, and I'll share the financials at the end as I kept financial records on all my large purchases. So in 2017, I was working with a partner, Jeremy Donson. We did tons of deals together, and generally our agreement was Jeremy would front the money and I would do all the work selling it. Jeremy would get paid back first, and then we would split any profit after he recouped his investment. We got a call from a gentleman in Seattle who claimed to have a 1978 Topps Baseball unopened wax case, a 1979 Topps Baseball unopened vending case, and a 1980 Topps Baseball vending case. He was asking 19 grand for the 78 and 9 grand each for the 79 and 80. That's $37,000 for everything. The man was very reasonable sounding. He clearly knew what he had, but he also understood that we needed to make a little bit of a profit. So we agreed that I would fly into Seattle and take a look at the cases. Neither Jeremy nor I had ever bought cases this old or this expensive before, so we kind of had to proceed cautiously. You don't want to spend this sort of money on cases only to find that they've been opened, searched, and resealed somehow. We also didn't know up front how much of it we should open, or if any, or if all of it. We definitely didn't want to open all of it, as we wanted to sell some of the boxes and recoup some of our money fairly quickly. To sell unopened wax that old, it really should be certified by Baseball Card Exchange. I had sent them plenty of stuff before, so we called Steve Hart. He's the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, and we explained the situation. We agreed that I would text him pictures of the cases as I was looking at them in real time, and he would on the spot, get back to me with feedback as to whether he thought they were still originally sealed and not tampered with. And we agreed that if I bought them, I would ship him the cases still sealed, and he would be the one to open them and seal each individual box, marking them as from a sealed case. That adds a lot of value when you go to resell it, as it sort of double confirms that it has not been searched in any way. We could then, of course, choose to open as many or as few as we wanted. Baseball Card Exchange and Steve Hart had then and still have today a fantastic reputation in the hobby, but this was still very nerve-wracking, putting this much trust in someone I didn't know personally and had only worked with minimally. Agreed to meet the gentleman at our bank. We had the same bank, so a bank transfer was going to be the way to go. I called the bank ahead of time and asked if we could use a small room to examine the cases for a few minutes, and the bank happily set that up. I flew into Seattle, I rented a car, and I drove directly to the bank. The gentleman arrived shortly after with a friend who was 300 pounds, all muscle. This is actually quite common when you're doing deals of this size. It didn't really strike me as anything in the moment, but it's sort of funny to think about afterwards. I guess it adds to the story. I looked over the cases, and the 78 and 79 seemed good to me. The 1980 case was already opened, and for a vending case, this is a major no-no. Vending cases were not packs. They're just unsealed boxes of 500 random cards, very easy to search. So I passed on the 1980 case. I took pictures of the 78 wax case and the 79 vending case and texted them to Steve Hart. He got back to me immediately saying they looked good. So we agreed on $28,000 for the two cases. That was his exact asking price. We went and stood in line at the bank, and I issued the money transfer. Since we had the same bank, it went through instantly, no issues there. We shook hands, and he left with his friend, both sides very happy with the transaction. That's ideally how all deals would go down. I put the cases in my trunk, and I drove immediately to the local FedEx store. Baseball Card Exchange is in Indiana, so ground shipping the cases from Seattle to Indiana was very expensive. They're quite heavy. I packaged them up with an insane amount of padding, double boxed, extra bubble wrap, etc., fully insured, and I shipped them ground shipping to Indiana, and I flew back to LA the following day. A few days later, Baseball Card Exchange acknowledged that they got them, and I got the cases back in maybe a couple of weeks. I had my wife video record me opening them to make sure there was nothing fishy going on, but everything 100% checked out. There were 16 1978 Topps wax boxes, all authenticated from a sealed case, and 24 1979 Topps vending boxes also authenticated correctly. Jeremy and I decided to open some of the boxes to see what sort of potential money there was to be made off of grading. We researched the pop report on the 78 and 79 Topps for a number of hours beforehand, and there are, commons that sell for big money in PSA 10s, and even some common 9s that fetch 3 figures. Stars are all over the place, and obviously you can really hit big with a high-grade Ozzie Smith, Eddie Murray, or Paul Molitor rookie, not to mention the Nolan Ryans, Pete Rose, and some other rookies and stars as well. But that turned out to be a total bust. We opened 2 of the 79 vending boxes and 1 of the 78 wax boxes, and just got absolutely nothing of note to grade, as essentially nothing was at the 9 or 10 level. We got an Ozzie Smith rookie that was 90-10 centering and an Eddie Murray with major print flaws. We ended up grading just 16 cards out of the 3 boxes. The highest card we got in terms of value was a 1979 Topps Carlton Fisk, which came back a PSA 9. Sold that for $19, absolute dud. Basically, we opened over $4,000 worth of boxes and got a few $100s worth of cards in return. We stopped opening right there. Jeremy kept 2 sealed boxes of the 78s for himself, and I did the same. We sent 2 more of the 78 boxes to PSA with the instructions of open the box and grade all 36 individual packs. Remember, the boxes were already certified from a sealed case by Baseball Card Exchange, so PSA could not claim the packs were tampered with or anything like that. 3 of the packs came back PSA 9s, and a few were 7s, but the vast majority were PSA 8s. That left us with 9 1978 Topps wax boxes and 22 79 vending boxes. I knew a few people who wanted a box or 2, so I sold a few for cash to avoid eBay fees, but I sold the vast majority of them on eBay through my eBay store, one at a time, the boxes, the packs, and the graded singles. Here's a financial breakdown of the entire deal, as I still have the Excel sheet. We paid $28,000 for the 2 cases, but there were a bunch of additional expenses. This included my flight, the rental car, my hotel for one night in Seattle, packaging and shipping the cases to Indiana, a Baseball Card Exchange's fee for authenticating the boxes, PSA fees for the singles, PSA fees for the packs, and maybe there were a few other minor things. Add all that up, and the total expenses were $4,803, meaning we were in the deal for $32,803. In terms of what we made after fees, we cleared almost $20,000 on the 9 remaining 78 Topps wax boxes, about $2,200 per box. We sold the 2279 vending boxes for a little over $17,000. Again, this is all after fees have been accounted for. That's about $800 a box. Those prices are actually low by today's standards, but they were fine in 2017. Had some graded singles and some extras from the boxes we opened, got $326 for that, and sold the 72 PSA graded packs for a total of $9,000 plus. It took about 6 months to sell through the entire deal. Total money in was $46,000 plus, meaning after all was said and done, we profited about $14,000, which we split $7,000 a piece. But remember, on top of that, we also each kept 2 wax boxes of 1978 Topps. I still have my 2 boxes. Today they fetch around $4,000 each. So that's it, the story and financial breakdown of the largest case purchase I ever made. I would say we played this one fairly well. I mean, especially given the fact that we were in uncharted territory. I mean, neither of us had ever bought unopened product at this level before, so we were sort of learning as we went. I think we played it, like I said, fairly well. Please feel free to leave comments or questions if you have any in the comments, as always. Next time I'll post a video about one of my biggest card blunders, maybe look at what sort of lessons can be learned. And again, thank you to everyone for all the great comments on my sports card life journey video. That was very humbling. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again real soon. Thanks, guys.